Oh boy, we just got a whole bunch of really good news. So if you're an older gamer like me, you enjoy the things that brought you joy in your childhood. And one such game, and which kind of makes sense, is Guild Wars 1. I loved the initial game. I've actually just gone through to replay it to unlock the Fiery Dragon Sword. I've really enjoyed the game, and we just got possibly some of the best news in a very long time. Guild Wars Reforged. Essentially, it is a revamp and a brand new look for this game, as well as that also being available on the Steam Deck. Now, this is a big deal, and I have a lot of information to talk about, so let's go ahead and dive into it. Now, before we get into all the fun things, let me go ahead and talk about what Guild Wars 1 is. So, Guild Wars 1 is kind of a pseudo MMORPG. Essentially, it is an action party-based RPG. You can join together with a number of allies, or we'll say henchmen or heroes or any combination thereof. AI, you'll have computers that will be assisting you. And in that sense, you build out your character and your team to tackle all the different bosses, all the different creatures that are out in the wild. What makes this really interesting is the layers of build crafting that you will be able to do. We're not even talking about just the weapon uses, but we're talking about the skill point allocation, the skills that you choose for your bar, because you only have so many skills available. On top of that, you can dual class. Say that you start out as a ranger, like I did in my recent playthrough. I could also pick up the Mesmer as a subclass and have skills from the Mesmer trait lines, as well as the ranger trait lines. It offers so many different variations in builds that the depth of this game is absolutely stunning. Holy crap, it is stunning. Now, I will say that one of the major features of the game, of course, is these different subclasses and things along those lines. Now, each one of the expansions offers something a little bit different, specifically looking at factions and Nightfall. So factions includes the Assassin as well as the Ritualist as playable classes. And then, of course, you have in Nightfall, the Paragon and the Dervish. Now, with not getting in there and ruining everything and spoiling everything, because the game is really great and I really want you to play it, it's something important to note that as you were playing through this game, essentially once you make that subclass selection, you're pretty much locked in for a time. Now, if you play through the base story like I just recently did, you get to a point where you'll be able to swap out. So it's not a semi-permanent. Your main class is permanent. Your secondary class is kind of like at a choice. Now, one of the best features about Guild Wars 1 is the PvP feature. It's very similar to that of Guild Wars 2. It's essentially as soon as you create your character, you can create one specifically for PvP. You're automatically leveled to max level, so to level 20, and then you'll be able to pick your subclass and be able to go and do all the different things that you want to without wasting any time of leveling. So you can essentially just jump straight in and play PvP with any kind of combination that you want. You could test abilities, you could see how different matchups work out, and then join in with a bunch of different groups. There's a lot of really good combinations that the depth is incredible with what you would see in PvP in Guild Wars 1. Honestly, it is something that I am so very excited for. But before we get into that, let's go ahead and talk about the cost of what it's going to cost you. So let's go ahead and first talk about the cost. Something that I really like to look at before I even look at any of these kind of games. They have essentially bundled what all of the different prices for the different expansions. So you had the core game, core Guild Wars, then you had factions, you had Nightfall, and then Eye of the North, varying from like 15 to 20 bucks depending on which one you are looking at. Now, all of them are going to be bundled together. So you make one purchase and you get everything. And it's only going to be $20 US, $19.99. And this also is a big deal for those who have just a piece of that or only a single version of that. Say that you only have the core game. You only have prophecies, you don't have factions, you don't have Nightfall, any of that. You unlock everything for free as long as you have one of the different games. That is incredible. I cannot tell you how many hours of gameplay that you are going to be able to have with just owning that one piece. Now, $20 will buy you all of that. You get the entirety of the Guild Wars story. And of course, with Guild Wars 2 being the sequel, that means that you get to see the entirety of the story building up to what Guild Wars 2 is now. Holy crap, this is a lot of really good value for $20. And again, if you've already spent the money, you get everything unlocked automatically for right there. It is an incredible value for the amount of gameplay that you'll be able to have. Along with all the other features that I have already talked about of what makes Guild Wars 1 great, is the updates to not only the visual, but the audio tracks for this game. Now, one of the best, we'll say, sessions that I've ever had is that initial pre-searing Ascalon. It's like one of the starter zones for Guild Wars 1 Prophecies. Just the aesthetic and the environment is enough. That draws in so much of just like a peaceful kind of like childhood memory, at least for me. Let me just go ahead and say it, at least for me. But having those be able to be updated and almost kind of like remastered in that sense is without a doubt one of the best features that I will say I'm excited for. That's what I'm excited for. Let me just go ahead and say. So in Guild Wars 1, you have something called the Hall of Monuments. Essentially, you go through and play through the story of Guild Wars 1. You earn a number of different titles, achievements, all these different things in your time, your tenure there playing. You get rewards by connecting that account in Guild Wars 1 to your account in Guild Wars 2. The whole reason that I went and played Guild Wars 1 recently was because I was looking to unlock the Fiery Dragon Sword for my account, which is you need to get 10 points in the Hall of Monuments. And essentially playing through any of the stories, and there's a number of different ways that you can go ahead about this. As I've talked about my time in Guild Wars 1 and a lot of the different features that I've been able to play with and unlock and use, one of the best or biggest things, I should say, that people have asked for is that connection. I've talked about it and they're like, oh, well, I play on Steam, so I guess I can't connect. This is simply just me drawing a conclusion based off of what I am seeing. I can't imagine that they would go through all this trouble and not be able to link the accounts on Guild Wars 2, either on from the Guild Wars 2 Steam to the Guild Wars 1 Steam. That's what I think is going to happen. But again, this is all speculation at this point. Another thing that I'm really looking forward to in Guild Wars Reforged is the idea of the better quest tracking. Now, it wasn't necessarily that difficult to navigate with the little green star and you just follow that along and that's where you got to go. I'm interested to see what they do with this different change, as of course, given that the game came out like what, 20 years ago, like I think it was like 2006, 2005, somewhere in that neighborhood. It's been out for a very long time. Now, what's exciting about this is that there is some of these changes that are coming to the UI updates. I'm very much looking forward to. I would love to see a lot more customization and you change it the way that you want to. That's something that I'm very excited about. To make this even more exciting, and the reason that I'm pumped up for it, is that this isn't just a one-time update. So Arenanet is partnering with a group called 2 Weeks to assist and develop Guild Wars Reforged even further in the future. So this isn't just isolated to this, oh, okay, this is nice, they made a couple of changes, good for you, there we go, everything's fine. Now it seems like this is going to be an extension and growth for this game, which honestly, I am absolutely here for. I mean, this is an absolute win for anyone who enjoys Guild Wars or Guild Wars 2 or any of these games from Arenanet or played that game as a child, because honestly, it is such a great game and it is such a wonderful thing to see that it's getting some revitalization. So let me know your thoughts. Are you a Guild Wars 1 OG? Did you play back in pre-searing Ascalon way back when in the 2000s? Let me know down in the comment section below. If you do want to see my recent journey, I just actually put out the end of the main campaign in Guild Wars Prophecies. You can click this video here. As always, stay caffeinated, folks.